You know, the uniform reveal has become a really popular thing, whether it's high school, college. I think the only ones that don't do it is the National Football League, and I may be wrong about that. But in our circumstance, I think certain players that our equipment man, Wes Pickle, speaks to and talks to, and I fortunately get to stay out of that. I like to have them tell me a quote before the reveal, but it's a lot of fun. The players enjoy their uniforms. Our equipment people do an incredible job of giving our players the very finest equipment, and the number of combinations that we have, I think the players think is pretty cool. So it's something that's been a lot of fun and really good.
As the college football regular season heads into the final stretch, we welcome you to another edition of Duke All Access with head coach David Cutcliffe. I'm Rebecca Fiorentino. One of the long-standing traditions at Duke is the team taking the field before every game, led by the United States, State of North Carolina, and Duke University flags. The flag bearers are honored members of the program, and that was never more evident than at a recent home game against Pitt. With Duke celebrating Military Appreciation Day and with Veterans Day shortly thereafter, it seemed only appropriate that the person carrying the U.S. flag for that game was a Blue Devil who had served that flag as a captain in the Army.
Blue Devil fans, it's football time at Duke.
The American flag is special to all of us. The year has been Joe Hardison. And Joe is going to have a military career post-graduation at Duke. Has been a member of the ROTC, had a summer camp that he was involved with and did extremely well. And he's quite honestly earned that honor to lead us out with the American flag. But being Military Appreciation Day, it came to my mind quickly that Captain Kirk Benedict, not Coach Kirk Benedict, had earned that honor. 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. Afghanistan, I told the team, has obviously been in the news a lot over the last year, and of course 30 years. And I looked back over my shoulder because I knew he was going to be fired up and pass me. But as we started out, and that picture is awesome, but I saw that huge, joyous smile in person right there in that moment. And what a warm moment it was. And it's November. We have Veterans Day this week. And I knew how important that would be to Kirk Benedict and his family, because he comes from a family of people who served the country and served it well.
I'm Kirk Benedict. I'm the special teams coordinator and assistant on the defensive side of the ball here at Duke University. And I've been here for the last 7 years. This is my 8th season with Duke University. I have a little bit of different background coming here. This is my first coaching position when I came to Duke University, but I came from the United States Army. I was in the Army for 4 years, was stationed in Germany for most of that time and deployed on 2 separate occasions to Afghanistan. And being a junior officer in the Army is fun. You get to do some pretty fun jobs. You know, you get to do they're taxing jobs. They take a lot of your time. They're very demanding, but at the same time, they're very rewarding. You get to be a platoon leader, and you get to be an executive officer. If you're lucky, you get to be a company commander. And the most rewarding things about those jobs is you get to be around soldiers, around men. You get to train and develop and lead young men, and then you get the most rewarding task. You get to lead those same men in combat. For me, it was those great jobs that kind of led me to look and see. I've always had this love for football, but to be able to come back to be around young men, to lead and develop young men, and then have a part in their daily lives, and then ultimately get to lead them on the field and also lead them, you know, as they develop great habits going forward in life, is something that's been incredibly rewarding to me. And I get to do it all the time now, not just for a couple years. I think the one thing that the military does best is it teaches discipline with reason. And what I mean by that is, hard discipline. Discipline is a great thing. Discipline is needed in everyone's lives. But at the same time, there are situations that require maybe a little bit different approach. There are very few instances, but there are some. And I think that the military, the Army, has taught me over the years that discipline is a great thing, but at the same time, it's not always the hardest way or the way that you have to do things. So I think there's a fine line that can be tiered with having seen some pretty extreme situations. I think that the special teams area of football is most like the military because of the strategies that can be used throughout the course of a game and how much field position that's up for grabs. The field is basically a battlefield, and every single play there's 40 to 65 yards, that each team could potentially take. And based on the strategies that you deploy and the strategies that the enemy deploys, it's going to be a battle, and whoever uses theirs the best ultimately will decide who wins each play, and each play is a big win in special teams.
Duke All Access is brought to you by Gatorade. Greatness starts with G. By Continental Tire, proud supporter of Duke football. And by Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
Wow, this new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever?
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Okay, I'm gonna try it first.
Yes! I need to try it first.
It's bow time. If the workday's over but your family's hunger is gearing up for the night shift, drop a big bow box on it. Cause with 12 Supremes, biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and still enjoy a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
You're made to move. And now it's time to get things done. You're in the driver's seat, chasing green lights and open roads. And you know those roads like the back of your hand. You're shaped by where you've been, but you're always looking forward with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
Fuel your grind with Gatorade's proven formula and the right blend of electrolytes to help you on your journey to greatness.
Turn hard-working days into happy nights. With the #1 selling brand in America, Real Steel. Find yours at over 10,000 local steel dealers.
I need to try it first.
Finding the right balance between academics and athletics is not always easy for today's student athletes. Playing video games has long been one of the more popular ways of spending downtime and taking a break from the stress. For Duke tight end Jake Marweedy, we found out there's also another relaxing, unique hobby that fills some of his free time.
So I think it's important to have a hobby outside of football in the classroom because obviously both of those are highly demanding and time consuming. So being able to go back home and finding a hobby that can be constructive and be a good use of your time, and kind of just be rewarding in the sense of being able to accomplish something, and being able to see that throughout the day, so whether it's like a birdhouse or like a table or a desk. something that you know you built, and you can kind of just feel good in that. Woodworking during the quarantine, I guess that hobby itself kind of gave me like an outlet from the otherwise kind of depressing era, especially over the summer. And it was kind of just being able to give myself some sort of task to accomplish the next day that kind of just kept my mood high and give me something to look forward to, whether that's making a bench or a table or something that I can like look at and be proud of, and also something that's fun making along the way. I'm a big outdoors guy. I love animals, and so for example, there around the house there was a couple birdhouses, but they're back in the forest, and I decided like throughout the window when you sit down and hanging out on the couch in the living room, if I could put a bird feeder hanging outside to attract some birds, and we've got a lot of cardinals and blue jays and stuff like that who have came by, and I don't know, it's kind of just uplifting, kind of wholesome. I've always loved nature and the outdoors. It probably stems from my family and my father, who's also raised in a super outdoorsy family. So my dad and I, ever since we were young, we'd go on like fishing trips and camping and hiking with my cousin and also my uncle, and so ever since then I've just kind of grown to love it and enjoyed spending time outside and everything it has to offer.
Dropping the throw, looking, goes up the right side.
Vintage Duke.
Running underneath and makes the catch. Jamison Crowder, 5, touchdown!
Each year, the Atlantic Coast Conference recognizes a legendary football player from each member school at the ACC Championship game. Duke's legend for 2021 is former quarterback Anthony Dillwick, who spent 5 years with the Blue Devils from 1984 through 1988. As a senior in '88, Dillwick posted the best passing season in school history with 3,800 yards and 24 touchdown passes, figures which set ACC records at the time and still stand atop the Duke charts. Dillwick was the ACC Player of the Year in 1988 and led his team to its first 7-win season in 25 years.
So I had to work hard during times when I wasn't playing. So any athlete out there, you know, that's the biggest thing you struggle with is you want to play and you want to participate, but it's all that time when you don't play and the commitment and fighting through that and being constructive and positive, and you know the coaches know you're frustrated, but you got to work through all that. That was really tough for any athlete. It was tough for me, but got a chance my senior year to play with Spurrier, which was great. A new lease on life a bit, and at Clarkson Hine, great receiver. Roger Boone is back, an awesome offensive line. Chris Port, Kerry Metz, some of those guys. Strong defense. You know, overall, we actually had to score a lot of points to stay competitive, but that's okay. We had some guys who fought hard on defense and did some really good stuff. And but anyway, part of that coming together, to me, is just you know, having the patience and understanding that it takes time to get there, and then having a coach that really, you know, was understood the game intimately, had an incredible game plan, and allowed quarterbacks to do a lot of unique stuff which fit my style, a lot of audibling, a lot of changing line of scrimmage, moving things around, to really take on the concept of the depths of the games and understand what defenses are doing. So there's some variables there that was really resonated well with me personally as a player. So I love that. I loved playing for a guy like Spurrier. I love the chance, the freedom he gave. I love the responsibility he put on the quarterbacks, and then the accountability was a big part of it. So, but it was a fun year, great year. We won 7 games. It's been like 25 years since we've done that. I was fortunate enough to be ACC Player of the Year, so I was grateful for that. And then certainly people contributed to that, and then got drafted by the Packers in the 3rd round, which was great to get a chance to go play professionally for 3-4 years. But you know, when you go to Duke, I think every kid, if you're being frank and realistic and honest about your opinion, you always have a dream about playing professional football. And you know, that was a great experience for me to have that transition from a place like Duke and then to the Green Bay Packers.
The holiday season has arrived, and so has the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your Ford dealer. Inventory is arriving daily, so it's the best time to get a Ford F-Series. With all this power and technology, it's no wonder Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. It's time to get holiday ready with Ford. Now get a 2021 F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 retail bonus cash. Get holiday ready only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Heart-stopping moments deserve heartfelt jewelry from Reed's. Our exclusive Love's Path collection features paths of gold merging around a center diamond, symbolic of how two lives join together to find adventure, understanding, and love. Our exclusive Roberta Z collection is a reflection of our founder, Roberta Zimmer, and mirrors the qualities we admire in the women around us. With Reed's exclusive jewelry collections, we have the perfect gift for each moment and milestone.
Turn hard-working days into happy nights. Our battery AK Homeowner Series starts at just $199.99. Real steel. Find yours at over 10,000 local steel dealers.
Football 360 with Dave Harding, presented by Continental Tire, proud supporter of Duke football.
There's not much that gets a football team more excited than a kickoff return for a touchdown, and the Blue Devils had their first one of the season against Pittsburgh. Jalen Stinson returning a kickoff 86 yards to the house. Today we're going to talk about several key factors that made that play a success. It's your initial reaction when you dissect one of these plays to put all of your attention on the return man. And we'll talk plenty about Jalen and the work he does on this play. But I want to take your attention and focus it along the front line of blockers for the Blue Devils. In particular, number 43, Adam Fakih, and number 48, Trey Freeman in the middle for the Blue Devils. Fakih does a fantastic job of using the momentum of the Pittsburgh player to his advantage to drive him past the hole. And Freeman does an excellent job of stopping the flow of the kickoff unit to make an impressive hole for Stinson to run through. Take a look at the space that there is between these two players. 24 feet with only one Pittsburgh guy in the middle. Trust me, I looked it up. That's the same width as two full-size African elephants. 24 feet across. Stinson then turns into a running back, essentially. He's got the vision to realize that there's a one-on-one situation with a lead blocker out front. If the guy goes to my left, I'm going to cut right. That's what he does, and he's off to the races. It turns into a foot race here as Stinson rumbles toward the end zone and gets his sideline fired up. We're going to look at a different angle, and this time let's focus on the return man. This is Stinson as safety for the Blue Devils on defense, doing it on the return game, 13 miles an hour. Helpful to get a head start like that when he catches the football, and then he takes off down the field, reaching a maximum speed of 22 miles an hour. Stinson was a track star in high school, won the 2019 state championship, but shockingly not as a sprinter. He won it in the javelin. 22 miles an hour, though, I looked it up. On this same trajectory, he's heading south out of the end zone, would get to Raleigh in the state capital in about an hour. And during rush hour, that's a pretty good bet. I might hitch a ride with Stinson. 22 mile an hour top speed, taking matters into his own hands, invigorating the entire Blue Devil sideline. Great job individually by Stinson, but also by the rest of his team to establish blocks up front. It's amazing what a big-time play on special teams will do to the entire team and the energy that it brings to the unit.
Kickoff return, they're covering, you got the kicker who doesn't really count in the coverage, so there's 10. But often you know who is a safety, who's going to pull out, And so as we look and view, we try to get a double team that can be an impact double team. And then we were going into this game with 2 double teams, again trying to be inside out. And on the first kick, it was very obvious that they were bringing somebody off the edge that had been running vertically, folded inside. So Coach Benedict did a great job today. Coach, let's just drop the double team on the right side and we'll single it out and get a hat on everybody. And guess what? That kind of detail, that kind of work by coaches and players together, everybody doing what they're asked to do, that can transition into touchdowns. That can transition into stops on defense. It transitions into success on offense. It all is in the detail, and coaches communicating, players communicating, and all of it coming together, and that is the beauty of a kickoff return.
This is another short kick, and it'll be on the run up the 15, the 25, bounces outside right, 30, 35, and 40. Down the right sideline, Stinson, inside the 40. Stinson's going to take it all the way for the touchdown.
So he just kept kicking the ball short, and I knew that if I caught the ball with a running start, that I would be able to have a shot, and I just trusted my guys and everybody attached to it, man. I was able to run outside of one of my guys. Then I had to beat the kicker, and there was 2 more guys I had to beat, and I just knew it was a foot race to the end zone.
Yeah, that was awesome. I remember the whole sideline was sprinting, almost catching up to him because we were so excited for him. I mean, he's been overdue for one. You know, Stinson's a real fast guy, and he's always made explosive plays running the ball back on kick return. For him to finally get one was great for him. We were happy for him and for us.
Fuel your grind with Gatorade's proven formula and the right blend of electrolytes to help you on your journey to greatness.
You're made to move. And now it's time to get things done. You're in the driver's seat, chasing green lights and open roads. And you know those roads like the back of your hand. You're shaped by where you've been, but you're always looking forward with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
The holiday season has arrived, and so has the Get Holiday Ready sales event at your Ford dealer. Inventory is arriving daily, so it's the best time to get a Ford F-Series. With all this power and technology, it's no wonder Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. It's time to get holiday ready with Ford. Now get a 2021 F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 retail bonus cash. Get holiday ready only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
I need to try it first.
The Game Breakers.
Over the middle, got a man wide open. And down the middle of the field, it's Jake Marweedy headed to the end zone.
3rd down and goal. Here comes the blitz, rolling to his left, looking, throwing it back across the middle, in traffic, caught, touchdown pass, Blue Devils. On this 3rd down, handoff, tackled behind the line of scrimmage, coming through from the side, Jeremy Cash, that is money. Here's the little option pitch back to the right side, got us some running room over here to the 50, to the 45, down the right sideline, they tried to push him out, didn't do it, down to the 20, to the 20, 15, he made a break and gets into the end zone for the touchdown for Sean Wilson. Here's the roll that way, look, search, throwing for the end zone, caught for the touchdown. On this 4th overtime, here's the drop, the look, the throw down the left sideline, got a man down there, caught, touchdown! He's going to keep it himself, cut back inside, slams for the touchdown, and the Blue Devils win it in 4 overtimes, 45-43, and the players are being mobbed by the teammates on the bench.
Well, as results seem to be coming in the same form, each week you go back, and it's not to the drawing board, you go back to the practice field. You actually, yes, you have to plan and scheme and work and study film, but the biggest product out there is what you get done on a practice field. And to be real honest with you, this one may hurt a bit more, because I think everybody in our program was 1,000% convinced we would come here and win. We've played well here on the road. These young men knew they had prepared well. We felt good about our plan. Obviously, you know, you're playing with some young people in critical spots, and you have to give Virginia Tech credit. They obviously did a lot of things well today. But when we look ourselves, and you've seen it defensively, the explosive plays, and too many plays, quite frankly, that it's just easy for them to make. And offensively, first down production wasn't very good. When we can't run the ball, it gets very difficult, and it was a huge challenge today to try to get a consistent drive. And, you know, you feel for our young men, because we've got to put them in positions to be successful. We've got some people that have proven they can make plays. We're back home. We had a short week. We want to see you Thursday night. Should be a beautiful night, weather. Look forward to competing against an outstanding Louisville team. And we're going to find a way to find out where the best Duke football team is. And we've got to look inside of each of us and find that. So we look forward to seeing you Thursday night on Brooks Field at Wallace Wade Stadium. We appreciate you.